Hey ho. Hi everyone, it's Sunday night. Woohoo! Here we go. I see a few of you here. I see, Cherie, you were having some fun all by yourself originally here tonight. You have some good conversation. And then you've been joined by some other people, so that's made it all okay. Oh, you guys are funny. All right. So it's been a good weekend. How about everybody else? Have you all had a good weekend? My husband's not having a fantastic night tonight because he every second week he gets he works almost solid for a week and then he gets a week off, kind of on and off, and he has to do a few admin days here and there. But apart from that, he works mostly night shift, and he's in the middle of a 7-day stint off at the moment. He worked Friday night, he had last night off, and tonight he's meant to have off in the next 5 or 6 nights, but I think the next 5 nights. But they called him into work tonight, so he wasn't very happy about that. But as we were thinking about it and going, okay, well, the money would be nice. You know how that is, right? And you're thinking, oh yeah, but do I really need it? I really don't want to, but there's no one else for them to call on. So nice to see everyone here. Hello, girls. Hi, Donna and Cindy. Margaret. Oh, we've got a different Margaret tonight. I've got a couple of Margarets that like to pop on. Hi. I don't know. Have we met before, Margaret? Margaret Griffith, I see. We have Margaret Gordon, who's here sometimes. And yeah, we have a couple of Margarets. We have a couple of Denises, and we have a whole bunch of people whose names start with J. Cold and rainy, Jean. Oh, that's nice. We'll do our best to warm your heart. Well, it shouldn't be cold and rainy. Isn't it summer over there? I mean, the rainy bit I get, but is it really cold? I mean, it's cold here. We're heading into a bit of a cold snap at the moment. They told us it'll be cold for the next week or so. But we are heading into winter, so we kind of expect that. So only one Cherie, that's for sure. And I mean that as nicely as I possibly can. You know that, right? Hey, Sunny, nice to see you. Hi, Jenny. All right, I know I've left a heap of people out, and my apologies for that, but I'm not going to go through everyone. I'll always be here for quite some time, and I know you all want to do some fun stuff like creating, right? So I have a couple of ideas of things I want to do tonight. Let's switch over to the desk and see what we can do. I'm just looking for my catalogue. What I am going to do, we have got this catalogue, which many of you are aware. This is the January to June catalogue, and we're almost at the end of May. So as of the 1st of June, what is retiring out of here, and we already kind of know what's retiring because if it's not in the annual catalogue, it's probably retiring, right? So we kind of have an idea, but on the 1st of June, when the retiring list goes live, you'll then see which items in here that are retiring are also discounted, which ones are marked down. So there's a few things in here that I think are going to go very quickly. I think the New Horizons paper, for anyone who loves those. There you go. The two Margarets are talking to each other. That's nice. Oh, and then we've got Margaret Janoski. Hello. Hi. Nice to see you, Margaret. So there we go. We have lots of Margarets tonight. So bear in mind that on the 1st of June, which is only Wednesday, the list will go live with the specials of the discounting products from the mini catalogue. I expect the New Horizons paper to go super fast, not because it's discounted, just because everybody wants that one. That's that beautiful 6x6 paper. I may, if it doesn't sell out this week, I may play with it next weekend, possibly. Ah, yes, some people who love embossing are going to be very happy. That's right. There's some fun things coming in the July to December mini, which now demonstrators have seen, and that's what Cherie is referring to. Yeah. Oh, it's so nice to see everyone here tonight. Thank you so much for coming and being part of our fun Sunday night. All right, so I'm going to switch over to my desk. I've still got the other catalogue there at the moment. Do I have the geranium set? No, I don't, Cindy. I don't have that one. I do know somebody who has it, but she doesn't live local to me. In fact, she's in South Australia. That's Bronwyn. Bronwyn, I'm pretty sure, has the geranium set. I could be wrong, but something tells me she has that one. So, hey, Michelle, nice to see you. Hello. 3 Margarets tonight. I know, how cool. It seems to be the in name of the night, right? All right, so I've been looking through here, and there are some things that are going from this one. Tell you what, it's not going. The rainbow set is not going, which I'm super surprised about, because I thought that bundle, which has been actually really successful, I thought for sure that would go into the annual catalogue, but it hasn't. So we'll look and see if that's, I have got access to the list, and I could, if we really need to see it, I could. Oh, you've got the geraniums, Kate. Well, there you go. There's someone who's got the geraniums. Some are 30% off and some are 50. I saw a couple of things were 10% off as well. So there's a range of discounts. So yeah, interesting, isn't it? Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Jenny. Thanks for spreading the word. If anyone wants to share this video tonight, I'm very happy for you to share it, because it's always a great way to reach out to new people, to find new people to join us. And a really great way to do that is to share this video. Both, I like someone to share it into our VIP group. For anyone who's, if you're in Australia and you're not part of the VIP group, please join us there. It's the Linda Doggies VIP. Hang on, I'm going to read it for you so you know exactly what it is. It's called Linda Doggies Private Stampin' VIP Group. I really probably should have come up with a catchier name than that, but that's what it is. Linda Doggies Private Stampin' VIP Group. Okay, at some point I may rename that, make it something smarter, something catchier. So there we go. And I saw Jody was looking for, because I didn't put up normally I put up the fact that I'm going live earlier in the day, and I was out and about and doing a ton of things today, so it didn't go up until about an hour ago. So I know Jody was looking for it, and if anyone else was looking for it, it's here. It was there, but only by about an hour. I put it up ago. Hello, Netherlands. How are you, Monique? Nice to see you. And Cindy's asking you a question, Kay, if you just want to scroll through the chat. Oh, no, Elizabeth, your daughter's tested positive. Yuck. Has it spread to anyone else, or that was only on Friday, so I guess you don't know yet. I hope you guys are well, and I hope you stay well. That would be good. Something I did do today that's very exciting, and that is I completed my 50 kilometres for MS today. I've been doing, for some of you know, and a couple of you who are here have also donated, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much if you've donated. I'm aiming to get to $300, to raise $300, and my goal was to hit the 50K mark by the 31st of May, and I did it today. So a couple of days early. I'm very excited. 50 kilometres may not sound very much, but I have an injury, so it was a little bit of a struggle, especially at first. It definitely has gotten easier during the month, and that's 50 kilometres on top of my regular stuff, so making sure that I make time to go out and walk those extra kilometres, and doing, trying to do a couple every other day, or, as often as I can. So, yeah, thank you. I know, very exciting. I got there, and so quite a few of the girls who are here have donated, and I'm very grateful. Even if you only have $5 or $10, it all makes a difference. I'm trying to get to 300, and right now I'm at $266. So thanks to everyone who has donated. I will, where should I put the link for anyone who'd like to donate? I can put it on my personal page. It'll definitely be there, but I might pop it on my VIP page as well. So my personal page and my VIP page. I think it's probably the smart thing to do. So there you go. Yeah, thank you very much. And because I started out having not walked for a few months after I hurt my leg back in February, it was a real struggle at the beginning, really, really hard work. And I thought, oh no, but I've committed to this. What have I done? But I'm actually really glad now that I did it, and it got easier as the month went on. So yeah, I wish I could. The reason that I only have Australians in there is that's where I do giveaways and that kind of thing. And when I'm mailing stuff out to people, I'm only mailing to Australia. Otherwise, my postage costs will go through the roof trying to mail all over the world. So that's the reason. Yeah, thank you very much. And one of my team members, and I hope she won't mind me calling her out, she's actually listening. I know I saw her comment before. Denise just hit her 100,000 in sales as a demonstrator, and I'm just so proud of her. So congratulations, Denise. Lots of things to celebrate tonight, so that's pretty cool, isn't it? Isn't that awesome? So, you know, the nice thing is that Stampin' Up rewards us. Every time we hit a $100,000 milestone, you get a really nice bonus. So, Denise, I hope you enjoy that. I think that's fantastic. So, yeah, if everyone just wants to be aware that Denise has done something amazing, and I think it's awesome. Okay, all right, so there's a few things in here that are not going to continue. There are some things that are going in, like the tulips are going in, but the windmill, I don't think the windmill is. So there's a whole bunch of different things. Some are going, some are not. When that list comes out on Wednesday, go check it out, all right? And let's do something different tonight, something new, I think. I had a bit of a play with this. I've done one other card with it. It's right over here at the front of the catalogue. Let me just find it. Here it is. It's called The Lovely and Linen Suite. Has anyone noticed this one? Beautiful DSP. This reminds me a little bit of the In Symmetry DSP that we had in the last catalogue. It kind of looks like it's, you know, there's florals, and to me it looks like patchwork fabric, which I think is fantastic. Hey there, guys. Nice to see you. Yeah, we missed some people on Friday nights, so there you go. Gosh, a lot of people saying it's cold and wet. That's no good. I heard that you've got some wild weather coming, Jody. In fact, we've got a wild weather warning from midnight tonight as well, so I'm hoping that it won't be too bad, but I know some areas seem to cop those things more than others. All right, so this is the one I wanted to play with tonight. It's a pretty simple little set. It's got this lovely big flower, this one here. There's this stamp that looks a little bit like tiles. Can you see that? And here's a card I did with it earlier. Some of you may have seen this one go up. So I was planning on using DSP in my background. In the end, I only used a small strip of this red one, this one right here. And this background here is created with this tile stamp. So I'll show you how I did that because it was kind of cool. It actually looks like one big long, except I did it dark and light. So, but if you want it to look like one big long stamp, you can. And would anyone like to guess how you would do that so it lines up perfectly? It's actually pretty easy when you know. The other thing is it's got a matching punch. So this is the label stamp that is punched out with the punch. And I have the punch right here. Kind of, this punch to me looks like a big pillow. Can anyone else see the pillow? Can you see also in the, I notice in my reflection on the back there, you can see my tie umbrella up there on the roof. My husband hung it up there and it's got turtles on it. Can you see the orange turtles? Orange and blue, this umbrella. And we got that in Thailand when I was over there a few years ago. So there you go. Yes, Jean, that's exactly right. And that's right, Sean got it as well. So, yeah, using the Stamparatus. And this is something I like to do. When you see a stamp like this and you think, oh, gosh, that looks like it might be around about the hinge width for the Stamparatus. And sure enough, I tried it and it worked perfectly. So, so I'll show you how that works for anyone who'd like to see it. There's some fun things in here. They've used some different, they've actually done the same thing here where they've actually stamped it all together, so it looks like one big stamp, but it's actually just this one little stamp here. They've used some paper strips, they've done some punching here, they've cut out some flowers here, and that's what I did here as well. I actually stamped it initially on this piece of white, and then I stamped it again on some scraps, cut out the flowers and popped them over the top, which I think looks actually nicer because otherwise you'd have to use markers to try and get your different colors on the stamps. But the problem is this is a photopolymer stamp set, and my experience has been that markers direct to rubber work really well on rubber, but not so well on photopolymer. Has anyone noticed that? I don't even notice I do it until you mention that, Cherie. I'm not aware that I do that, but I guess I do. So this is the stamp set. It's called Lovely and Lasting. The bundle is called the Lovely and Lasting bundle. As I've said before, normally when there's a bundle, a stamp set and a punch, or stamp set and dies, the bundle takes its name from the stamp set. So this is the Lovely and Lasting bundle because it's the stamp set and the punch. Okay, that's what you get in that. And being a punch bundle, it's significantly cheaper than a die bundle. So the punch and the stamp set is only $65.50, which I think is pretty good for a punch and a stamp set, don't you? And how many are there in there? There are 15 stamps. There's some cute little flower ones. There's this lovely big flower that is always the size. You notice on the cover here, it's smaller than it shows here. What is in the catalogue, except for background stamps, or if it says it's only shown at 50% or whatever, mostly, almost always, whatever you see in the catalogue is actual size, which is a really handy thing to know, because then if you have a particular frame or a die that you want something to fit inside, you can sort of go along and see what's going to fit. Okay, so I can see that that's going to fit nicely inside that little rectangle there. So you can take your die, or the other thing you can do, like if I wanted to see what's going to fit inside this, is I could, let me just grab a piece of white, a scrap. I could cut myself a hole, and then I can go through the catalogue and see what's going to fit inside this punch. Okay, so you know, if I've got something and I think, oh, I'd like to know if that's going to fit, you make yourself a little template, just punch it out of a piece of paper, and then you can go through the catalogue and put it over any image and know that you're seeing something that's actual size. So for example, that bottle is not going to fit in that punch. Okay, it's too big. All right, but the wine glass is going to fit nice. This whiskey business, too small. The punch is too small. The stamp is much bigger, but you could get the wolf in there. That's rather nice. So you could go through with any punch shape and see what's going to fit and what's not going to fit according to the template that you make yourself. The all-seeing police. Oh yeah. All right, so I thought I'd have a little play with this because this is new to me and I haven't done much with it yet. The paper is really nice. Oh, actually, something else you may have noticed, that in the catalogue, that when there's a suite, you can put in one code and buy the whole suite, or you can pick and choose all the different things. So I could just buy the paper, or I could just buy the punch, or whatever. But when you're buying the whole suite, there's a code up the top here underneath the suite name. It tells you how much to buy the whole lot, which is usually a little bit of a saving because you save 10% on the bundle, then rather than buying them all individually. It's got Australian and New Zealand price, and then it tells you what's in the collection. So in this case, it's the bundle, the stamps and the punch, the paper, lovely and linen 12 by 12 paper, and the quatrefoil tile embossing folder. So you might be able to see it here. Can you see the embossing folder there, kind of? If I hold it still enough, you can see this quatrefoil design. Okay, so sometimes when I'm ordering, both in the interests of having things that match, but also just it's a lot easier and less time consuming, it's easier for me when I'm ordering to just put in one code and get the whole lot. Okay, so yeah, that's eyeing off the panda set. I know it's nice, isn't it, Jenny? I've had a few people tell me they really like that. And the koala, isn't it? Isn't a koala in there as well? I like this one too. Isn't this cute? I love the paper with it. Haven't got it yet, but I really like this. It's on my list of things. And in this bundle, there's a cute little couple cute little pine trees that match nothing in the stamps. Well, this one actually, the small one does match this one, but the bigger one is standalone. I was thinking they'd be nice for Christmas, don't you think? You could have little pine trees and put them on, you know, little tree background, and you could even, I don't know, you could do some snowflakes or something if you're in a cold climate, which I'm not, but you could. So there's a whole, what was the word you used in design of the embossing folder? Is it the quatrefoil? Is that how you say it? I think it's how you say it. It's called quatrefoil tile embossing folder. Is that the one you meant? Oh, I wonder why it froze. That's interesting. Did it freeze for everybody or just for Donna? Is Donna special or am I? We're all special, right? That's it. All right, so I do actually have this one as well. I'm not using it tonight, but I do have that. All right, so I am going to grab my paper so I can show that to you, and then we're going to get started. I've actually been pulling all this paper out. So you can see these little tiny flowers here, which are actually the same as these ones. So these little red flowers are the same as the ones that are in that beautiful stamp. Didn't freeze there. Might be just you, Donna. Sorry. Maybe an internet thing. So the colours in this are Night of Navy, Pale Papaya, I think the red is Sweet Sorbet, the new red, which is really nice. Pretty sure that's right. And look, there's Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen in here as well. The navy is really nice. Yeah, this is Sweet Sorbet, the new red. And then look at these lovely tiles. Isn't that nice with all those? I really like these papers. I think you're struggling with this set. All right, well, let's see what we can do with it tonight that might make you struggle a little bit less, hopefully. Then again, you know, maybe we'll just struggle together. All right. So I've got some of the Sweet Sorbet red here because I really rather like this, and I thought I might use that for my background tonight. I've already cut this piece. This piece is 7.5 by 11.5, and when I do a center piece, yep, 7.5 centimeters by 11.5 centimeters. So if you're doing this in inches, it's around about 3 inches by 4.5, roughly. Okay, so, and then I'm just going to use a piece of basic white thick for my base here. And this will take a little while because I'm also going to do a little bit of cutting, but I can chat to you and cut at the same time. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, so this is the piece that I want to have here in the middle, but I'm thinking I might put a border behind this, and that'll give it a bit more strength. So I'm going to get some navy. This is I was going to grab some out of my scraps, but couldn't reach my scraps. So I'm going to go 0.5 centimeter bigger. So instead of 11.5, this will be 12. Instead of 7.5, this is going to be 8. So 12 by 8. So here I go with my 12. And then 8. So it's 0.5 centimeter. Or if you were doing it in inches, I'd make it 1/4 of an inch bigger on each side. All right, so this one now is going to fit straight in the middle. Can you see that? We've got a nice little border all the way around. So let's just go ahead and glue that together. I might just use my seal tonight. When you're adhering something, the smart thing is to always put your adhesive on the smaller thing, the smaller piece that you're gluing, because that way you won't, if you put it onto the, if I put this on the glue onto the navy, onto the cardstock instead of onto this, then it's easy enough for me to actually go a little bit outside it and end up with glue poking out and sticking to things I don't want it to stick to. Whereas if I only put the glue behind the red panel, then it's stuck, it is behind the red panel, and that's going to work. So I'm actually going to have this piece here in the middle. Isn't this nice paper? It's really, really pretty. So that's the Sweet Sorbet. That's one of our new in colors. All right, so now I've got a scrap here. I've got a couple of scraps actually, and I'm going to pop this one on block E because it's a pretty big stamp. And I said I was going to show you how to tile that thing, and then I realized that this card I'm not actually going to do that, but I'll do that separately, so don't let me forget. So I'm going to do this. I'm actually thinking I might do this with Evening Evergreen. On this one I did do the background. Sorry, not Evening Evergreen, Soft Succulent, and I've got a tiny bit of Evening Evergreen in there, but it's mostly Soft Succulent. That's the lighter of the two greens. So let's ink that up. So for whatever reason, I find I have trouble getting my my markers to do well on photopolymer stamps. I don't have a good track record with those. So I'm just going to pop this down here. I should have a mat underneath. Here we go. I've got a mat. I didn't need it. That's okay. In this case, we don't need it anyway. And I'm thinking I might. It's a nice green, isn't it? It's a neutrally kind of a green. It's not got any yellow in it. It's more of a blue base green, but it's quite neutral. All right, so I'm going to cut this out. Let me see how I go. And this is 8. I might go a little bit more than 8 and cut it down. Actually, I'm going to have to go. So let me see how I've got this. Is it 8? Yeah, it's almost exactly 8. And we'll go 9.5 this way. So it's nice to sort of stick to, that's pretty good. You know what? I'm having second thoughts. I'm having second thoughts about what I'm doing. I'm having another idea. All right, we may end up with 2 cards here. Sorry about this, guys. I'm changing mid whatever this is. Let me pop that aside for a second and let's go this way. And let's do what we said we're going to do. Let's use our Stamparatus. I'll just need to go grab it. But I've got this beautiful stamp. This one here. Now you can do it by eye, but it's really quite hard to line it up exactly. Let me just show you. I really like a tiled look. Always do. No matter what, whenever they do a tiled stamp, I usually have to have it. It's really nice. Right, so then if I was to do it again and line it up exactly underneath, it's not too bad. You can kind of see it where you're going, but it's hard to get it exact. It's a tiny bit more of a gap in there than I wanted. It's not exact. Okay, you can see the gap. Whereas if you're using it with your Stamparatus, there's no gap, no nothing. Okay, so let's do that. I've got a Stamparatus right here. And I'm going to clean that stamp. So thanks for going with me with the sudden change because I've just changed my mind about what I wanted to do. So that happens sometimes. I blame it on, you know, creativity. That's what I'm blaming it on. Oh, hi, Tina. Nice to see you here tonight. What time is it where you are? I'd say it's morning. Am I right? Hey, Ellen. Hi. Nice to see you here tonight. All right. Let me put this on here. So when I'm wanting to use, for anyone who hasn't used a Stamparatus before, my favorite way to use a Stamparatus, I prefer to use, just personally, I like to use my side plate. I use side much more than I use the top plate. Not that there's anything wrong. It's just personal preference. And I like to have whatever it is lined up so it's pushed right into the corner. That way you can always put it back there. Okay, I'm just going to pop one. I don't very often use 2 magnets. You can, but I am very keen on keeping my magnets very separate. And so with that in mind, I tend to use 1 at a time. Not very often do I need to use 2. I'm just going to stand up and make sure this is as straight as I can make it. All right, so I've got it lined up with my paper right in the corner. Can everyone see this okay? And I've positioned this where I want to do with the stamping side, the actual image facing towards the paper. Then I'm going to bring my plate over, give it a bit of a press, and pick it up. And we're going to do this in, we're going to do it in navy because it's nice in navy. I did do it in navy on this one as well, but as you can see, I did some dark and some light. I might just do them all the same this time. So I'm just going to ink this up. Also, if you're worried about your Stamparatus plate, you want to keep it level, the perfect size to put under it is a stamp set that will actually keep it flat. Okay, so quite often I do that. So let's bring this over and stamp. I've got 2 Stamparatuses, but one of them's on a holiday at a friend's house right now. And the friend is here tonight, so how's my Stamparatus going? I hope it's been doing its job and looking after you well. All right. So the cool thing about the Stamparatus is if you mess it up the first time, so you saw some of the image wasn't stamping out properly, doesn't matter. You just stamp it again, okay? And it will be perfect because our card is still into the corner, so it's exactly in the same place. And we're just going to bring this over and do it again. Now I've missed a tiny, tiny little bit here in the middle, so I'm going to bring it over and give it another push. And there we go. Now it's perfect. All right. Isn't that cool? That's what I love about Stamparatus. I just think it's such an easy tool to make sure that you're going to get your stamping exactly the way you want it every time. And so if you're a nervous stamper or you're not 100% sure about getting your images exactly right, this fixes that problem. It's so good. Okay. So it's also got this great thing, which I love, is my favorite thing I do with the Stamparatus, which is the hinge step technique. And that is, you've got all these little hinges here. When you bring your plate up, so it's vertical, you can lift it and move it down one hinge. And then we're going to ink it up again. And we're going to bring this over and we're going to stamp it again, making sure, of course, each time that our card is pushed right into the corner. And now it's perfect. How good is that? Isn't it fantastic? I love this little technique. It's just so easy to do. And then I'm going to lift it up, bring it down again, and you just continue until you have done all your stamping, and it's all going to be perfect. So if you don't have a Stamparatus, well worth it. Fantastic. You just want to give it a push each time. If it's not exactly right, just do it again, or ink it up again and do it again. Okay, it's going to be just perfect when you do this the way I'm doing it right now. If you do get any ink here on the plate, don't worry, it won't transfer to your project. Just making sure it's still in the corner. Bring it over again, give it a push, and again. Now I'm going to move my magnet up the other end. But isn't that cool? I think you make yourself sit in the corner, Cherie. Now, if I do this again, that's in the same place. That's because I didn't pull it down another hinge. Give it another push. And here we are. Okay. It's all the way from top to bottom. Absolutely perfect. How cool is that? And this just this little tiny stamp, and it looks like we've got a big, beautiful stamp. You could color this in. You could do all kinds of things with it. I think it's lovely. So, so nice. Don't you like that? Good question, Michelle. I did a little bit. I made a couple of thank you cards to thank some of the girls who donated for me. Now I'm deciding whether I want to put this over here, but I'm worried it covers up too much of my, it covers up a lot of my stamping there, and that stamping's pretty good. I really do like the stamp that I did. Maybe I'll do a smaller piece and save this for the next card. That's maybe what I'll do. And maybe because I've already got an idea in mind of what I wanted to do with this color, I might use one of the other pieces of the paper. So let's have a look here. We've got this one. No. This one's nice because it's sort of got another tile pattern. So that's rather nice. And I'm going to do a thinner piece than what we have currently. We've got some green. There's some nice choices here. This is another tiled kind of a look. This one here. There's quite a few that to me are a little bit tiley looking. So that would be nice, but maybe too much of the blue. This pale papaya is nice. Does anyone have an idea? An engagement card and a 30th birthday. That's nice. They're nice occasions to have to make cards for. Too busy babysitting. Well, that's self-inflicted, Jody. I don't feel sorry for you at all because I know you're having a lot of fun with those grandchildren. I'm reading through all your comments. Goodness me. I can't keep up, girls. You type so fast. Yes, it is a little bit Moroccan. I agree, it does. Looks good. The first one. So you still think the red. Do you mean the red? Is that the one you're thinking? Or do you think... What paper? Have I used all the papers? There's also, this is nice too. This is just pale papaya, but I think it's a little bit... No, it's not the one I want. The one on the card. You mean the red? Shall we stick with the red, but I'll just make a smaller piece? I can do that. We can do that. So the one on this card has just a strip of the red. See that? It's got a little tiny bit. It's this same one. I'm just looking. You like the red too? All right. So it looks like the red seems to be very popular. Oh, Cheryl said no, the yellow. The one on the card, the first one. All right. All right, let me cut a smaller piece of this and let's see how we go. And instead of making it 7.5 centimeters wide, I'm just going to do 5 centimeters wide. 5 centimeters wide, and I'm not sure how long. Let me have a look at my card. I'd like it to fit inside here, like kind of here. So about here maybe. Let's try 10.5. We can always cut it down if we need to. This is the problem. If I do actually go ahead and organize something earlier in the evening and get myself really, really organized, my problem ends up being that I change my mind and then I've got to do it again anyway. So, all right, so this is 5 and we said, I think 10.5. Yep. So that means we're going to do 11, which is half a centimeter bigger on the 10.5 side and 5.5 the other way. So I'm just doing half a centimeter bigger than the piece I've just cut. And that piece is going to perfectly fit just in there like that. And then that's going to go here. I think that's better. Don't you guys think that's better? Then that way we've got more of our stamping showing, because it is pretty impressive, all that beautifully lined up stamping. So I think I want to keep that open. Oh, guess what? So when this happens, when you get a bit of red coming through here, that means you're at the end of your roll. So I just finished that. So I guess I will fix that up after my class, but I'm going to finish putting this on with a bit of Tombow. And pop that in there. Oh, a bit too much Tombow. All right, so this piece is going to go here, like this. Now, I'm deciding whether I cut these out. I think I will. And I've always got some pieces handy. This one's actually got a mark on it, but I might be able to cover that up if I decide I want to use that size. So I am going to cut this up. So it'll take a little bit of time, but don't worry. I mean, the other option is we cut out the flowers. So I stamp on a piece of scrap here. And we're going to do it in navy. I'm going to put my mat underneath because this is a pretty big bold stamp, and bold photopolymer stamps always look better with a mat underneath. They'll give you a better image. You want to give yourself the best image you can when you come to stamp. So I hold it in place for a few seconds, lift it straight up, and that's stamped beautifully. Isn't it a nice image? All right, so when I did my original card, I sponged the red over the top and I sponged the pale papaya over the top. But it did pick up a little bit of the blue ink when I did that, which kind of muddied the colors just a little bit. I mean, I can see it. You probably won't see it unless you're looking for it. But I think it would be better to maybe use blends, maybe. So let me grab my pale papaya blends. There's one there. And I don't have the sweet sorbet in pale papaya yet, so I'm going to go for Poppy Parade, because Poppy Parade color-wise is not all that far away from sweet sorbet. So I'm going to color this in, and see, we won't get that same muddying that we got when we used the sponge daubers. So blends are a good idea in this circumstance. I'm using the dark one, but the light one would have been just as good. It doesn't really matter, and because we're not really using them to blend with, we're just coloring, but the color is definitely truer, and the alcohol inks don't mess up with your classic inks that you've stamped, your water-based inks. Right. See, that looks much better, don't you think? And then I'm going to go, tell you what would have been nice, if I had blended the pale papaya and the Poppy Parade together. That might have looked really rather nice. But anyway, that's okay. So a little bit of cutting tonight. Who likes to cut? Anyone? Anyone like to cut? I do. I like cutting. It makes me happy. Not everybody does. I'm going to use these ones. And I'm going to cut out these little guys. So I'm actually going to go, the easiest way to cut is to actually go around the whole shape roughly first. And you want to, get rid of a lot of this extra paper, because it's easier to cut when it's smaller. Now you can just stamp these and color them like I just did and be done with it. Don't have to cut them. But I just really liked the effect that you get when you do cut these out. And I noticed in the samples that they used in the catalogue, they cut those out for the most part as well. And you can also just use these flowers on their own. You don't have to have them attached to the stems or anything like that. You can just cut them out and decorate your card with them. That looks nice too. So tonight is the 29th of May, which means we're almost at the end of the month of May. Oh my goodness. What's coming to an end? The fantastic joining special that we've got going right now is almost at an end. If you've been thinking about this and you're sitting on the fence, it's time to jump, guys. Either jump or don't jump. But unfortunately, after the 31st, this fantastic deal will be gone. So if you are thinking about it, now is your time. And what that is, you pay $169 and get your choice of $235 worth of products. I mean, that's a good deal, right? And that's the deal it is every single month. But this month, until the end of May, they're going to throw all the new colors at you as well. So it's $116.50 worth of product on top of the other deal, which I think is really fantastic. And it's all the ink pads in the new colors. It's the assorted paper pack, cardstock pack in the new colors. It's the DSP in all the new colors. And it's the grid paper in the new colors as well. So it's like a new color extravaganza, and you get that on top of the kit special. And there's free shipping as well. Once you're a demonstrator, the cool thing is really the value is not so much in the kit, even though that's a good deal. The value is in the community, and in the fact that you get an ongoing minimum 20% discount from there on all your own purchases. There's just so much. We actually have had, the last few years, we have had, unfortunately, the same as everybody else, due to the pandemic, we have not been able to get together. And in November this year, they are having the first in-person Stampin' Up event back in Australia. At the moment, it's planned for Sydney. So even if you don't live near Sydney, you can go from anywhere in Australia. There's also one in Perth for people who are closer to Perth. And there's one in New Zealand. I think it's in Auckland. Does anyone remember if that's right? I think it's in Auckland. But wherever is most convenient. But it's a demonstrator-only event, which means if you are a demonstrator, you can join now. And if you're still a demonstrator come November, if you decide you're going to stick around till then you can register and be part of the amazingness that is a Stampin' Up! Event, because their events are out of this world. They are so, so good. All right, so we've got our flowers cut out. What do you think? If you like the sound of that special, if that special is something that you're thinking, I would love to do that, then let me know. Send me a message. I will send you the information that you can read through. At this stage, I would be emailing that to you. I'm just going to pop this here, and I'm deciding whether I want to do this, or originally I was going to put it back onto the flower like this one. So that's what I did with this one. I stamped it and then I cut the flowers out and put them on top. Okay, and I think it looks really nice. But just for something different, we'll go different this time. And we've got some nice words in here as well. What words shall we have in here? We've got a beautiful thank you. We've got a thinking of you, a happy birthday, oh, hello, best of luck, and cheers. First person to say which one we should use, and that's the kind of card that we're going to do today. So I will just wait for somebody to type in their favourite sentiment. Oh, that's nice. Best of luck, says Jenny. All right, let's do it. Best of luck. I was thinking the best of luck. I'm always looking for one that says good luck or best of luck to use around St. Patrick's Day. So this one you could use for that, couldn't you? Be handy. All right, let's pop that down. So best of luck. And I think I'll do this in navy. And because I've got these little marks on my, can you see them? Marks on my circle. I'm hiding those behind those two little flowers there, which I think is fine. And I'm going to position this up here like that over on this side of the circle. All right. I'm actually going to put this one down flat because I'm going to pop this on dimensionals, and I don't want to have too much dimension on the front of this particular card. So I'm going to pop this on. Sometimes I go crazy with the dimensionals. Can't help myself. But today I'm being very restrained, don't you think? Just like that. And then we're going to pop this on dimensionals. Yep, these ones. I don't mind a bit of fussy cutting. Fussy cutting is kind of something I like to do because it's kind of mindless and therapeutic. So I tend to do it like in front of the TV, especially if I'm, you know, doing a swap or something and I've got to do a lot of cards, then yeah, I'll tend to. So I'm thinking about here. And I'm also thinking maybe let's have some little leaves here as well, because we can pop those on and they'll look rather nice. I was going to use the punch, but I've just decided to use the circle instead. And I think I might use this little flower as well. So let me cut. I'm just going to cut roughly around the shape of the flowers. Actually, I may cut that whole thing off and we'll put it on in the navy instead. That would be nice. So I'm just going to cut the leaves. So this is a bit of a fun set. I do like the paper. The paper, I think, looks really embroidered or patchwork kind of, and I like that about it. If you're a patchwork person, you would probably appreciate this paper. Trying to get this little piece just to separate there. It's better. You don't have to be as precise as I'm being. I'm being a little bit, what's the word, pedantic. Well, we went out with friends to dinner last night, which was just lovely. We didn't go out. We went to their house. So it's out for us, but not for them. And very good friends of ours. Some of you may know my friend Jo and her husband Stuart. And we went over and played Aggravation, which was fantastic. And it was just a nice night. And we don't get to do that very often, but last night we did. Right, so let's pop, I'm going to pop this one flat. Which way would I like this to go? Like that, I think. And then I'm going to pop this little guy on dimensionals. Like that. Actually, that one I think needs a turn. There we go. And then I've got these little leaves here. Huh. I'm just trying to catch up with your comments at the same time, but I can't cut and look at comments. It's almost like I need someone to read the comments for me. Someone to, you know, read through and make sure I'm not missing anything important. All right, so this one here, I'm actually going to use a glue dot behind this one. Just easier to use glue dots sometimes. Pop that there, and let's just have that little bit of a leaf coming out there. And then this one here, I'm going to have that one popping out here. Like that. I could just leave them like that, but I'm tempted, like I said before, I want to use the, where is it? Here it is. The flower, and we'll pop the flower up there. So if ever anybody's wondered why I talk about the joining special all the time, it's because I honestly believe with my whole heart that it is the best value thing we have to offer. There's nothing that's as good as value as the kit. And so for that reason, I will talk about it, especially if there's a great special, because I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't help you guys get the most value that you can. Ah, okay. Does that mean I failed, Michelle? How about the paper? Do you like the paper? Because I think the paper is pretty cool. All right, so I have enjoyed doing a little bit of cutting with that. You could add a bit of sponging here in the middle if you wanted to. I'm just thinking whether I would like a bit of bling on this. Maybe. I mean, some little adds a little bit of something different to it, but let me just see if I can. Actually, I'm going to take that one off, pop that one up there, and put this one here, because I've got a tiny little blob of ink and I'd like to hide that. Just like that. The other thing you could do if you wanted to is throw a bit of ribbon in, but you don't need it. But I do like the way the card came together. And it's not the card I had in my head that I was making. This is actually totally different to what I thought. That I ended up going in a totally different direction. But what I wanted to show you is how to use your Stamparatus to get that lovely tiled effect. Do we want the ribbon or do we not want the ribbon? What do you think? Do we, yes or no? Ribbon or no ribbon? I'm glad you like it, guys. Thank you so much. No ribbon, says Katrina. Okay, we're done with the ribbon. I'll throw that over there, Cherie, shall I? I'll just chuck it. All right, one card done. I'm going to do one more for you tonight. Very quickly, I have some paper that I have not even yet opened, and I've been looking at it going, oh, I need to open that because I've seen some beautiful things done with it. Just gorgeous. And this is the Perfectly Penciled. Do you remember we had hand penned not so long ago, which was with the hand penned stuff that was in the last catalogue? And this year we have a similar one. This is just like a black and white. It's called Perfectly Penciled because it's like sketches. And it's super, super pretty. Okay, so we've got black and white designs, more of a geometric design on the back of that one. So I've got some leaves here, little flowers there. This is nice with this little flower, but once again it looks like a sketch and with some dots. Look at those dots, aren't they nice? Not a fan of that set either. Well, now you've seen me use it. You might not. Oh, I like the stripes. I love stripes and dots. I think that stripes and dots are just the bomb. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. Nice. And on the back we have like a cross hatch. Really nice that. And one more to go, I think. So this one is really, really good for colouring. Okay, all these papers are fantastic for colouring. Looks really, really nice. Don't you like it? You like this DSP better? Ah, there you go. There you go. Well, I love all of it. I think I like this one the best. This is a really, really pretty, pretty little flower. I will do some cards with this. I'm thinking watercolor pencils probably would be my go-to. You could use blends with it, but I think watercolor pencils. But just for tonight, I might use a different one. I'm deciding between one of these, this one with the little flowers at the back, or this one here, which I hadn't even noticed before. They're rather nice, aren't they? What do we think? The last page is beautiful. You mean this one, Tina? That one? We can do that one if you like. Let's give that a try. And maybe this time I'll go with the design that I had in my head for the last card. So let me pull my trimmer in. And I'm going to go with the same measurements I did previously. So 7.5 wide. This is centimeters I'm doing. And 11.5 long. And this is a nice panel for the front of your card. Okay, so let's try that. Now I'm actually going to get my blending brushes out for this one. And I'm thinking we're going to go with maybe Pool Party, maybe Coastal Cabana. Let's start with Pool Party because that's the lighter one. And if it's too light, then we'll move up to Coastal Cabana. And I'm going to pick up lots and lots of ink with my blending brush as much as I can. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to hold it with my left hand, start off the paper, and then roll it on. All right, and we'll see if this is dark enough. It might not be. We can always add more color. It's hard to go the other way. If you start too dark, it's hard to make it light. Yeah, they could be camellias, possibly. It's hard to tell. So this is a pretty quick and simple little card this time. I'm not going to be doing any cutting or, nothing in particular that requires a lot of time. I think this might be dark enough because I don't want it to be super, super dark. I'm trying to make it as even as I can. It doesn't matter if it's not perfectly even though. What do we think? Do we like that? So now we have Pool Party paper with little black roses. Now what I was thinking I'd like to do is use my blends to add a bit of colour into those flowers, and I haven't decided what colours I want to go with. Maybe I'll try So Saffron and we'll see, because that's a lighter yellow, and let's see if that's dark enough. I'm going to start with the dark So Saffron. Is this the dark? Yes. And I'm going to use my paintbrush end and use, oh, yep, it'll actually pick it up quite nicely. I could go a little darker, but the end of these has actually been damaged since the last time I looked at them. That's the only problem with using them for classes, is they do sometimes get damaged. Let me see if I've got a daffodil. That might be a bit darker. I've still got some Mango Melody, but the Mango Melody is actually retired. They don't have that anymore. Let me see if this one's better. Whoop. Paintbrush end. It's better. Yeah, that is better. It just needs to be a little darker. I'm just going to do a few at a time. The other colour I think might look nice with this would be Calypso Coral, maybe. Let's see if that's better. I actually have a thing, I've always had a thing for blues and orange together, blue and orange, which might not sound, depends on the blue and depends on the orange. Look, see, that one's really badly done as well. Never mind. I do have some spares up there. Just going to use my thin end. And you don't have to be precise with this. I just want to add a little bit of colour to some of these different ones. Add a bit more colour in here. Just going to add some yellow to the ends. And like I said, you don't have to be precise with this. This is just about adding colour. It's not about perfectly colouring the flowers. So we're just going to add a bit of colour and move on, which makes it pretty quick to do. I like blue and yellow together too. I've got a real thing about them. But yellow and orange also. Just adding a bit more, and then we'll call them done. So the nice thing about this paper is you can, of course, make it any colour you like. And I think that's always a nice thing, to add the colours that you love. That's really pretty, isn't it? It's almost unrecognisable as that paper once you do this to it. So I'm deciding, do I want Tool Party behind? Or do I want black? Or do I want coral? It is a little bit like the Freezer Bird DSP. I didn't think of that until right now. Parakeet Party is a bright colour for a dress, Jody. I don't know. I am not watching The Voice because I'm here, so I don't know. Did anyone see? I had been kind of watching America's Idol over in the US, and I noticed the newly crowned person is it Noah Thompson? He's a country and western singer. He's got such a lovely voice, and I'm not a big country and western fan, but really, really love what he did, and he sang some saying amazing stuff, and I thought that was pretty incredible. I don't watch a lot of reality TV except Survivor. I love Survivor, but no, I didn't. I just thought that was really nice. You think coral maybe? We're going on a white background, okay? So we're actually going to be going on here, but I wanted to edge this piece with something. Does that make sense? I'm just going back to see if anyone's... the blends markers, no, you don't refill them. You buy yourself a new set, usually when they go. They're $15.50 for a set of 2, dark and a light. And currently you can't buy them singly, you can only buy them in pairs. They are beautiful. The markers are gorgeous. I love them. Black, says Jody. Yeah, maybe let's give black a try. You can't really go wrong with that, can you? Let me grab a piece of black. And we'll do that. We'll go nice and simple. And how big do I want this? Just got to remember how big I made it. I can't remember already. I think I went 11.5 long and 7.5 wide. I think that's right. Yep, I did. So 12 by 8. That's a pretty standard size for a front panel like that. It does look nice on the black. What do you think? Do we like that? I think we do. Right, let's grab my Tombow right here. You can see where it's gone through here to the back, and actually that looks quite pretty. It's got some colour in it rather than just the black and white. That's rather nice. Three times only, Cherie. Ah, okay. Looks like I might need some re-inking lessons from you. Hang on, let me get this. All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, that way or that way? I don't think it really matters. It doesn't really matter which way it goes. Is we're going to wax some dimensionals on the back of that because we can. And I'm just thinking it's a piece of black. We could go with white dimensionals or black dimensionals because we've got black going on to white. So it really doesn't matter which dimensionals you use. Seeing as I've got some black ones here, so let me pop those on. I like the black dimensionals because in a pack of black dimensionals you get 2 sheets of the normal size and 2 sheets of the minis. So a lot of people don't realize you get both sizes in a pack of black, which is kind of cool. Ah, that's a good idea, Jean, too. You guys know all the things. See? That's pretty awesome. All right. There we go. So now we have this really nice colored panel that came from just the black and white paper, right? Isn't that nice? And let me see if I have any pieces, rather than having to cut up another piece. I'm just going to see. I've got a piece of white here that I could throw a nice sentiment on. That would look good. Vellum, everyone knows I love to use vellum. I've also got square. So, we have white, we have square, we have circles. Which size? Should we go with a circle or shall we go with a square? What do you guys think? Oh, good thinking. Yes, with Minka Stella, that makes sense. The shape I punched earlier. Ooh, I could do that. Yeah, with the punch from the other set. Here that it is. Yeah, I could do that. The square's too big. This one, too big. I've probably got a smaller square, you know. I probably do. I have a whole bunch of, and see, this one's way too big. That's a really big square. These are all cut from the Stylish Shapes dies. Have you guys seen those Stylish Shapes? Ugh. If I could say it properly, Stylish Shape dies. They are fantastic. Yep. A banner would be nice. I agree. A banner would be really good. And I've got this Best of Luck already here. I could use that again, or I can use a different, seeing as we've got that stamp set out, maybe I'll just use another. We've got thank you, we've got thinking of you, we've got happy birthday, oh hello, and cheers. Let's pick a different one. Who'd like one from there? Show us, please. Show us what? Pillow. Pillow, says Donna. All right, let's try that. Let's pick this piece here. And I'm thinking, deciding what color. I'm thinking maybe the coral. The coral might be nice for this. Thinking of you. Okay. Thanks, Katrina. I got that. Thinking of you. It's a nice thinking of you too. This one. Right. Let's pop this on with the coral. There we go. Yeah, they are addictive if we're talking about the same thing. You're talking about blends still or something else? Because I do love the shapes dies. Oh, I know. They're the best. I'll grab them and show you because I just love them. I can't stop using them. Well, I've stopped using them right this second to cut this out with a punch. So it looks like a little pillow, don't you think? I do think it does. Right, so this is going to go on here. I think we need to edge it though. You could edge it with a sponge or a dauber, either of those things. And because I did my stamping in the coral, I would probably edge in daffodil or So Saffron. But I'm thinking maybe So Saffron, which is the lighter of the yellows. And I'm going to grab a dauber. I saw some sitting on my desk just before I started this, so I know that they're not far away. Give me a second, guys, while I find my daubers. I've got a blue dauber, I've got a purple dauber, but I'm looking for a yellow one. Or a new one. One or the other. Or here's something else we can do if we can't find a dauber. We can just roll this in the ink pad so you get a little bit of an edge all the way around. Can you see the yellow edge that I've got on that now? That's another way of doing it. That's the lazy way, to be honest. You could use darker cardstock behind here, possibly. I'm thinking I'm going to, I mean, I can put it right in the middle, but I never like it in the middle as much. I always like it off to one side and then with maybe a bit of bling or a ribbon or something. I think a ribbon might look nice on this one. So let's pop a couple of dimensionals behind here. And let's pop that right over this edge. About there, or do we think down? No, don't forget the bling. I know, Jody, right? Can't forget about that. All right. We have a few choices for ribbon, but I do have some seam binding here, which we could color to match our card, or we could just go with white. And the white wouldn't look bad. It would look quite nice because it would stand out against this background. What do we think? Do we like the white? Or do we want something else? I like a thinner ribbon and I like being able to tie a little bow. I think a little bow is sometimes a better choice. So I'm going to cut that off. Color the ribbon coral, says Cherie. Oh, all right then. But then I'll have to tie another bow. This is almost the end. I've just ordered more of the seam binding ribbon because I don't like running out of it. This is the very end of the roll. But but luckily the new roll has just arrived. So, all right, we can color it coral. The thing is, let's see, is that going to be too dark, do you think? Probably not. We can always decide that in a second. So I'm just coloring it with my blends. Blends markers are great for coloring ribbon, actually. Just do it on some scrap paper like I've just done there. And then I'm going to tie it. It's picking up my glue dots, and my glue dots are picking up the ribbon. The only thing is, if you don't do enough, I might need to add a little bit more blends. We'll see. Coral ribbon. We've been, in this household, it's been Lego and Star Wars all weekend. There's a new Star Wars series out that my son has been so excited to watch, and so we watched that, which was rather entertaining. It was rather good. There we go. What do we think of the ribbon? Do we like that? It does look good, doesn't it? All right, maybe it was actually worth doing that. I think it was, because it really looks rather nice. Brass butterflies. That's a good idea. Okay, brass butterflies. Let me pop that just there. Just like that. And brass butterflies. I have some of those. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to go through and find them, because I've also got other things that would look nice. Opal rounds, those are nice. But I think maybe they're a little big. I've got a couple of packets of brass butterflies that are unopened. See, there's brass butterflies, but I'm sure I've got an open pack. Champagne rhinestones would be nice too. They'd be nice. I might just have to open up a pack of brass butterflies. I've also got, they're a bit yellow, but I've also got the glossy dots in the yellow. But I think there may be too yellow. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to open that pack of butterflies, because I cannot find my open pack. That's all right. I'll use them. Don't you worry. You could colour the heart pearls. All the pearls colour really nicely with blends, Jean. So, yeah, that would be a really nice thing to do, actually. And maybe a little guy up here. What do we think? Do we like those? Can you see them very well, the little brass butterflies? There's one down the bottom here, one up here, and one up here. That's rather nice, isn't it? That was a quick and easy card. Ah, very good. You like the butterflies? Very good. That's good. I've got a mark on here. Something we don't have anymore. Look, see this mark? We used to have, and they were fantastic, adhesive removers, which are like a little yellow rubber. It looks like an eraser. Really, really fantastic at getting glue off something, because that's what that is. That's a bit of glue. And as soon as I do have one of those. In fact, I have two. And I will go find mine and fix that so that it doesn't have that big blob on it, so that when I post it on social media later, it will look perfect and you'll love it, right? So here's our cards tonight. This is what we got up to tonight. This one and this one. Do we like them both? Do you have a favourite? I'm really glad you like them, guys. It's been lovely to have you with me again tonight. Don't forget the joining special ends on Tuesday. So if you're thinking about it, please get in touch because it is just an awesome deal and I'd love to have you join me. As well as that, we have the new retired stuff, the retired list of the mini coming out on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. There's some good specials in there. Yes, a glue eraser. That's right. That's right, Donna. Yep. It seems the second one's the more popular, but I like them both. And actually, I do like this one. And I like navy and red together. Maybe that's part of the reason why, but I think it looks nice. Okay. All right. Well, have a fantastic week. I hope everyone does. If you're in my team, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, as always, at 10 o'clock on a Monday morning. And if not, I will see most of you probably next Friday night. Have a fantastic week, guys. Stay well. Bye-bye.